Hey everyone, welcome back to the Education Exploration Hub, your go-to space for learning English and leveling up your life. I'm Sophia, and I'm here with my awesome co-host, Dylan. Dylan, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling fantastic, Sophia. Got a good cup of coffee, a clear head, and I'm ready to dive in. How about you?
Same here. I was just thinking yesterday, why do some people completely turn their lives around while others stay stuck in the same spot for years?
Oh, I've wondered that too. You see someone go from struggling to thriving, and you think, are they just lucky or are they doing something different?
Exactly. And it reminded me of when I was learning English. At first, it felt impossible. So many words, so many rules, but then, little by little, things started clicking.
Same here. I used to think, if I just knew more vocabulary, I'd be fluent. But it wasn't just about words. It was about building habits, changing my mindset, and actually using what I learned.
And that's when it hit me. Life is the same way. Big transformations don't happen overnight. They come from small, daily choices.
That's exactly what we're talking about today. How to change your life one small step at a time.
And before we go further, we've got something special for you. We've created a free PDF packed with practical exercises to help you take real steps toward change. It includes key takeaways, comprehension questions, grammar exercises, and more.
Plus, we'll introduce some intermediate level words and phrases during the episode, and later in our vocabulary break, we'll break them down with real-life examples.
So stick around. By the end of this episode, you'll have both practical life strategies and new English tools to express yourself better.
Let's get into it.
So Dylan, if small changes work so well, why do so many people struggle to make them?
Great question. Change sounds exciting, fresh start, new beginning, but here's the truth. Most people never actually make those big changes. Why? Because change is hard. Let's talk about the common reasons people feel stuck.
Let's break them down. First, fear of failure. People think, what if I try and fail? But what if you try and succeed?
Exactly. Every successful person has failed along the way. The difference is they kept going. Failure is just feedback. It tells you what doesn't work so you can adjust.
Second, lack of direction. Some people know they want a better life, but they don't know where to start. They wait for a perfect plan before taking action, and that perfect plan never comes.
Third, negative self-talk. I'll never be good at this. I'm just not a language person. I don't have the discipline. Those thoughts stop progress before it even begins.
And fourth, waiting for motivation. People say, I'll start when I feel ready. But here's the secret. Motivation comes after action, not before. You don't wait to feel motivated to brush your teeth, right? You just do it.
That reminds me of when I was learning English. I kept waiting for the right moment to start speaking. That moment never came until I just opened my mouth and tried. And I made mistakes, lots of them. But that's how I improved.
Same here. I thought, I'm not good at this. But then I realized the only way to get better is to actually start. So understanding what's holding you back is the first step to changing your life. Once you see those barriers, you can start breaking them down.
Exactly. And that brings us to the solution: small daily improvements.
Okay, so now we know what holds people back. How do we actually start making changes?
It comes down to small daily improvements. People think they need a dramatic transformation overnight. Wake up at 5 a.m., run 10 kilometers, learn 100 new words. That's not sustainable.
Right. Real change happens gradually. Have you heard of the 1% rule?
Yes, if you improve just 1% every day, you'll be 37 times better in a year. Let that sink in. 37 times better. Not 10%, not 50%, just 1%. Small efforts compound over time, like interest in a bank account.
That ties into the power of habits. James Clear talks about this in Atomic Habits. Small changes don't just change your results, they change your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries to learn English and start seeing yourself as an English learner.
Exactly. Reading 10 minutes a day, practicing English for 5 minutes, replacing one negative thought with a positive one, those small actions add up. You don't need to study for 3 hours. You just need to show up.
I know someone who became fluent in English just by listening to podcasts every day during her commute. No intense study plan, no expensive course, just consistent, small steps. And within a year, she was holding conversations confidently.
That's so inspiring. So here's the takeaway. Small, consistent actions lead to big results over time. If you're listening and wondering where to start, just pick one small habit today. One, not 10.
And that habit could be as simple as listening to this podcast every day, or writing down one new sentence, or saying one positive affirmation in the morning.
Exactly. Start tiny, then build from there.
But Dylan, even with small habits, mindset matters. You can take action every day, but if your inner voice is telling you this won't work, or you're not good enough, you'll eventually quit.
Absolutely. There's the growth mindset versus fixed mindset. With a growth mindset, you believe I can improve with effort. With a fixed mindset, you think I'm either good at this or I'm not, and I'm not.
And the good news is, you can change your mindset. It's not permanent, it's like a muscle, you train it.
Here's something fascinating. Our brain has a system called the Reticular Activating System, or RAS for short. It's a part of your brain that filters information based on what you focus on. It's why when you learn a new word, you suddenly hear it everywhere.
Right. So if you keep saying, I can't do this, your RAS finds evidence to prove you right. You'll notice every mistake, every failure, every person who's better than you.
But if you say, I'm improving every day, your RAS focuses on that progress. You'll notice small wins, new words you understood, moments when you spoke a little bit better than before.
So 3 powerful ways to reprogram your mind: affirmations, visualization, and gratitude.
Let's break those down. Affirmations, positive statements you repeat to yourself to build confidence and reshape your thinking. Daily affirmations like, I am capable, can change your mindset. She starts every morning with 3 affirmations.
Visualization, seeing yourself succeed. Close your eyes and imagine having a fluent conversation. Imagine feeling confident. Your brain doesn't fully know the difference between imagination and reality, so it starts building the neural pathways to make it happen.
And gratitude, focusing on what's going well. Today I learned 3 new words. I understood a sentence without translating. That trains your brain to see opportunities instead of obstacles.
It's not magic, it's training your brain to work for you, not against you.
And the best part is, you can start right now, right this second.
So many people wait for the perfect moment to start. I'll begin on Monday. I'll start after the holidays. I'll do it when I feel more confident.
But here's the truth. You will never feel fully ready. The perfect moment doesn't exist. It's a trap.
Progress comes before confidence, not after. When I was learning English, I hesitated to speak because I wasn't ready. I thought, what if I make mistakes? What if people laugh?
What happened when you finally took that first step?
I realized mistakes are part of learning. Every mistake taught me something. Each conversation built my confidence a little more. I wasn't perfect, but I was improving, and improvement feels better than perfection.
There's a concept I love. Done is better than perfect. Imperfect action is always better than no action. A bad sentence is better than silence. A messy workout is better than sitting on the couch.
So here's a quick challenge for everyone listening. Think of one thing you've been postponing: practicing English, starting a workout, reaching out for help, writing that email.
Take one small step today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because action leads to momentum, and momentum leads to confidence.
And once you start, it gets easier. The hardest step is always the first one. After that, you have proof that you can do it.
Small, consistent actions over time create massive change. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Make today the day you start.
Write it down right now. Today, I will, and fill in the blank. Then do it.
You know, Sophia, our surroundings shape our habits more than we realize. The people we spend time with, the content we consume, even the physical space we're in, it all matters.
There's a famous saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you're around negative, unmotivated people who complain all the time, it's hard to stay motivated.
But if you're around positive, goal-driven people who encourage you, their energy rubs off on you. You start thinking like them, acting like them.
So how do we create a supportive environment? Let's give 3 practical tips.
First, follow inspirational people. Authors, speakers, YouTubers, podcasters, even social media accounts that lift you up. Unfollow the ones that make you feel bad about yourself.
Second, join online learning communities. English learner groups, book clubs, personal development spaces. When you're part of a growth-focused community, you grow too. You see others succeeding and you think, hey, I can do that too.
Third, reduce exposure to negativity. Limit time with constant complainers. Cut down on negative news and social media that drain your energy. You don't have to be rude, just set boundaries.
When I was learning English, I felt stuck until I joined an online speaking group. Suddenly, I had people to practice with, share struggles, and celebrate wins. That changed everything.
So here's a question for you, listener. Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? Are they helping you grow or holding you back?
Be honest with yourself. If they're not pushing you to be better, it might be time to make some adjustments. Not by cutting people off harshly, but by spending more time with those who inspire you.
Surround yourself with people and influences that lift you higher. Your environment is not neutral. It's either helping you or hurting you.
And now it's time for our vocabulary break, where we break down key words from today's episode so you can use them naturally in your own conversations.
First word, compound. As a verb, it means to grow or increase over time in a way that builds on itself. Example, small efforts compound into big results over time. You can also say interest compounds in a savings account.
Next, mindset. This is your attitude, your way of thinking. A growth mindset believes you can improve with effort. She has a positive mindset even when things get hard.
Third, momentum. The force that keeps something moving forward once it's started. Once you start taking action, momentum builds. Don't stop. Keep the momentum going.
Fourth, reticular activating system, or RAS for short. It's a part of your brain that filters information based on what you focus on. Your RAS helps you notice opportunities when you focus on growth. You don't need to remember the full name, just the idea.
And finally, affirmation. A positive statement you repeat to yourself to build confidence and reshape your thinking. Daily affirmations like "I am capable" can change your mindset. She starts every morning with 3 affirmations.
Great words, Dylan. Try using one of them today in a sentence, out loud or in writing. That's how you make them your own.
Exactly. Vocabulary isn't just for understanding, it's for using.
So, Dylan, if we had to leave our listeners with one key takeaway from everything we've talked about today, what would it be?
I'd say you have more control over your life than you think. Small changes, the right mindset, and a strong environment can completely transform your life. You don't need a miracle, you just need to start.
Progress doesn't happen overnight, but every small step, every 1% improvement gets you closer to where you want to be. Don't underestimate the tiny actions.
Don't forget to grab our free PDF guide for this episode. It's packed with exercises, vocabulary practice, and comprehension questions to help you take action.
And let us know, what's one small change you're making today? Write it in the comments. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.
Keep exploring, keep growing. See you next time on Education Exploration Hub.
Take care, everyone, and remember, start small, but start today.